Yo, what is going on? 720 official followers, White Citadel here. I've got a team deathmatch on Resistance for your viewing pleasure, and I've got some big news today out of Bethesda Game Studios. They have announced that they are looking for new employees to help them work on a next generation game. And on top of that, this next generation game is going to be their next big title. So I'm extremely excited about this. The next generation is really officially here. Bethesda is a massive game studio, and the fact that they are already taking the next generation seriously and they are already putting forth effort into it is huge news for us gamers. Anyone that plays a lot of video games will know Bethesda. They are a fantastic studio. They are extremely famous for the Elder Scrolls series, including Skyrim, which just came out and kind of took over, and the Fallout series, which is really big as well. It hasn't been big for the last couple of years, but New Vegas and particularly Fallout 3 were just game-changing games. They were first-person shooters, but they had RPG elements, and they had this big post-apocalyptic world to explore. I absolutely loved Fallout 3. It's one of my favorite games of all time, and I really liked the Elder Scrolls series as well. And the fact that these guys are kind of setting their sights for the next generation is a real eye-opening experience, because that means that we have our first huge developer that is on board and is kind of packing up their suitcases for the future. So I'm really excited about this. I think all of you should be, and I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to get an Elder Scrolls game at launch. Now, there's no way to tell that yet. I mean, no information has been set. I mean, the game hasn't been made yet, or they haven't even started making it. But when the 360 came out, they came out with Oblivion, Elder Scrolls Oblivion, and Oblivion was an amazing game, and that game, right out of the gate, already pushed the 360 to about as far as it could go. The graphics in that game, the gameplay, the massive size of it were just incredible. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get another Elder Scrolls game and we get that whole immersive feel and that really test of the system. And I think that that's probably what's going to happen. There's a chance it'll be Fallout, but definitely plan on it being either Elder Scrolls or Fallout, because Bethesda doesn't really have any other series. They don't need to, because they're so good at what they do and they have such a massive immersive environment in every single game. I mean, these games take years to make. If you've played Skyrim, you can walk around that map. It takes hours to walk around that map, and it's filled with living, breathing creatures and environments. So plan on really seeing the bar pushed high with this next generation when Bethesda gets to work and puts out a new game. I'm extremely excited about that, and I think that that's a really cool way to totally see the power of the system by getting a new Bethesda game. And man, if you thought Skyrim and Oblivion were good, wait till we have 6 times the power for Bethesda to work with on the 720. I think it's going to be fantastic. I'm really excited about that. And a little bit of backstory for Bethesda for people that don't understand why I'm so excited about this and their reputation. They started off as a PC game developer in the mid to late 80s. I think it was 1986. And then they got really big in 1994 with the first Elder Scrolls game, which was called Elder Scrolls Arena. And along that time, they came out with their Fallout games as well, which were, I believe, top-down kind of action games. But I never, to be honest, I never played them until Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas, so I'm not too familiar with them. But just this last 10 years, they've exploded. Like I said, Oblivion came out on the 360, made just millions of dollars, and probably helped sell a lot of units, because when people saw their friends playing Oblivion, when they saw the graphics it had to offer, when they saw the size of the map, I'm sure a lot of people rushed out and got a 360. I know I got Oblivion when I bought my 360 because, I mean, that's a launch title dream. You have to have that if you get the system. And I think we're going to see the same thing on the 720. We're going to see some sort of insane launch title to pick up with the system, and we'll be really happy with it. And I'm not saying that this game's going to be a launch title, because Bethesda takes a long time in between games. I mean, there's usually only one game every 2 years from Bethesda. The last game they had was Fallout New Vegas before Skyrim, so that was quite a long time. But the fact that they're starting right now, it looks like a pretty decent chance it's going to be a launch title. So I think that's really cool. And plan on this launch title almost certainly is going to be Elder Scrolls, almost certainly is going to be Fallout. It's definitely going to be the first-person action RPG, like what we've seen with Skyrim, what we saw with Fallout 3. So plan on that game type. If you're not into that game type, you really don't have anything to get excited about with Bethesda, but I think that pretty much everyone I know loves Skyrim, loves Fallout 3, so I think you probably have some mental problems if you don't like action first-person shooters. So big news. I will keep you guys posted on this as more develops, but this is a really big day for the 720, a really big day for us gamers because we have the first huge powerhouse on board, and they're gonna, usher us in. And if other developers jump ship, if other companies jump ship, we have Bethesda. We're gonna have a Halo game. We're gonna have a lot of good games, guaranteed. And then if these games succeed, if people love them, more and more developers are gonna hop on board, and the system's gonna take off. And at this point, I really trust Microsoft. After the Xbox got through those first months because it rode on Halo's back, and the 360 competed with the PlayStation 3 and the Nintendo Wii, which was just overpowered. Every single family bought one of those. I trust Microsoft. I think the developers are going to be on board. I think we're going to be looking at a great system. Be sure to sub for more updates. I am out.